So, have you noticed something very confusing after a relationship with an avoidant? Is that while you were in a relationship with them and while you were trying to make an effort about talking with regards to where is the relationship going, why is it that we are not talking about pointers which are really important to both the parties, and why are we not addressing the elephant in the room? You might have been met with silence, or them ignoring your messages and texts, or them just stalling it and just saying that let's deal with it later, right? And maybe that later led for both of you to then end up deciding that maybe you both do not want to be in a relationship, or that the relationship gradually ended the course, right? Now, here's where something interesting happens, that after the relationship ends, you will end up finding that maybe not the next day, but maybe weeks or maybe months down the line, them coming back, right? And the return is not something that confuses you, because maybe somewhere down the line you knew that this is a pattern with the avoidant, most of the avoidance, that yeah, he'll end up returning, he or she will end up returning. But the interesting part is that when they end up returning, they will end up acting more loving. They will end up remembering things that you thought that they have would have forgotten. They will end up being more receptive to your feedback. They will end up becoming more loving towards you. And it's then very natural for you to end up thinking that yeah, maybe they are returning because now they saw me moving on and they cannot handle it, or thoughts like maybe they now like me, maybe they realize what they lost, or maybe now we can now finally be back together, right? So this video is not for me to explain that there's just one such reason as to why they have returned, right? Because human behavior is very difficult to point out or just explain with one reason as such, because we are all very diverse and there are multiple things that go on or behind when we end up taking a decision, right? So you cannot put human behavior in in a compact box and say that this is how this is why this happened. So this video then is just an attempt to understand the few reasons as to why avoidant end up becoming more loving after the breakup. Now, for a lot of avoidance, talking about emotions and dealing with them in the here and now can be something that can be challenging. Sometimes it can be overwhelming as well, right? So, when you are in a relationship with them, so it is likely that there are going to be topics or times when you would want them to show up, or you would want them to talk openly about your emotions, and it is during that time that they will end up feeling more pressured. Can look something like the partner trying to tell them that I want to feel closer to you because I want to understand your emotions, or I want us to work out with regards to certain xyz things. But for the avoidant, it can be like, I'm being pressured and I do not want to deal with this right now. Let's not deal with this right now. I will deal with this in my own time. Or, and that's sometimes that can lead them to push you up, right? And when that happens repeatedly, the push pull dynamic keeps happening. So then it leads the relationship to break off, right? And then the immediate response from an avoidant then is relief rather than sadness or regret. Now, this is where it can get confusing for the partner who has been in a relationship with an avoidant. The reason can be that suppose you end up waking up things with an avoidant, and then maybe few weeks or few days later, you see that they have put on stories on Instagram or on social media saying that they're having the best time of their lives, putting up stories. This is not to say that every avoidant will end up showcasing a happy life, or that everyone who's broken up is not happy. I'm just telling you that this is what happens in most of the time. This is not me generalizing that every avoidant ends up doing or acting or behaving this way, right? So you will end up seeing that they might have also moved on. Like a lot of them end up moving or jumping from one relationship to another, going on exotic vacation, solo trips, showing the world that they are very happy, right? Maybe they can be happy, maybe they are not happy, but sometimes they end up putting up a brave front in order to let other person know that they are happy. And for you who is on the receiving end, this can lead you to spiral into thoughts thinking that what did I do wrong? Where did I go wrong? See that they have already moved on. That means I was the problem. See, they have already taken the breakup so well. That means I was the problem, etc., etc. The interesting thing here is that avoidance do not, as I mentioned in one of my earlier videos as well, avoidance do not deal with emotions in the here and now. Emotions are pushed away. Emotions are never acknowledged or accepted or even felt in the here and now, right? And what that leads to is that after a few weeks or after a few weeks, or even few months of the relationship passing, slowly they end up having thoughts about the person. End up having thoughts about how the relationship with you was like, and thoughts about how the like nostalgia basically, right? Maybe they end up comparing their current partner with you. They end up realizing that they lack some things that you were offering very freely. They are demanding accountability where you were giving things very freely and very naturally. So these thoughts then lead them to end up sitting and thinking about how the relationship really was, right? So this is where the boomerang ends up happening, right? The feelings, emotions, and the thoughts that they might have buried with regards to you and the relationship that they shared with you then end up returning, and then they end up returning in huge waves and not just small shallow waves that come to their surface, right? And that's the reason sometimes they end up returning out of nowhere. They end up messaging you at 2 a.m. in the night, or they will end up video calling you, drunk dialing you, drunk texting you, saying that they regret whatever they have done, saying that they are sorry, and saying that they did not realize that how they mess up so badly. Imagine you are walking past a house that you have already lived in, right? Maybe you've lived in a house for many years, right? And then you are suddenly passing by the house, and then you end up looking at it, and then you end up reminiscing about the childhood that you spent, or the way you enjoyed rainy season, sitting at the window, looking at it, enjoying the view, enjoying the birds who would chirp in the morning, and you end up like smiling and feeling very happy thinking about that past moment that was there. Missing does not mean that you want to move back into the house. So sometimes it's very similar with an avoidant as well, right? Maybe they miss the connection that they had with you. Maybe they just want to visit the connection that they had. Maybe share or talk, or like have a safe space where they end up talking about certain emotions freely and very naturally and very openly. But that does not mean that they want to reconcile with you. And maybe the longing that they have, and the way in which they genuinely show up and talk about the emotions and the memories is really real, right? Because you both have shared that history, and you both have shared that space in history which meant something to both of you all, right? So the way in which they reach out is genuine. That does not necessarily mean that that means that they are ready to re-establish a bond with you, because sadly words can only tell you or make you feel a certain way, or maybe make you feel happy. But it's their actions at the end of the day that will determine if they've really changed, or if they really want to make a future with you or not. Now, understanding why someone behaved, or why the avoidant acted the way that they did is really important, because we end up making an avoidant a villain and then end up thinking that maybe we are the victim, or sometimes it can go vice versa as well. Right? Understanding the reason will end up giving you the clarity, or help you understand where they are coming from. Also help you understand to not blame yourself when things go wrong in a connection, or with the connection with an avoid. But understanding is not necessary does not necessarily mean or include you reconciling with an avoid, right? This video is nowhere telling you that now that you understood their point of view, this is where you should reconcile, because see, they did not mean harm to you, and that maybe they had good intentions when they reached out. Because you cannot measure real change with just a few sentences saying, I missed you, I'm sorry, I messed up, let's get back together, or I see my mistake, and I own my mistakes, right? Real change is seen over a period of time, and in their actions, in not just their words, right? If their words have to match their actions, and only then will you know that they have really changed, and that they want to make an effort to come back into your life. Has the person become self aware? Have they taken responsibility for the patterns that damage the relationship? Are they willing to do the uncomfortable work that healthy relationships require? And most importantly, are those changes really consistent rather than temporary? Now, these answers won't reveal themselves overnight, right? They will require time and persistence, and you being aware and you being present in the here and now. They take time and observation. They also would require some difficult conversation, like from you to your own self, and also from the avoidant, right? And sometimes you will also need the support of your friends and family, as well as therapists as well, who can help and support you during this time to understand and for you to see the situation more clearly. Because the goal here with an avoidant returning back and telling you that they love you is not to make a decision as quickly as possible. The goal is to understand the situation clear enough and to gain clarity about the situation, and to not make a decision in haste, and to make a decision that will be better for your long term mental, spiritual, and emotional health.